So 10 years ago or so, the original reasons why companies such as Nike or Adidas moved to Southeast Asia is labor costs. Labor was becoming more expensive in China, so they needed to find more lower labor costs, but also an ability to have more flexibility in their supply chains. When the trade war was launched in 2017, 2018, then companies realized if I don't move my products, I'm not going to be able to sell much to the US. So then there was a second wave that went into Southeast Asia to take advantage of the non-tariffs from there to the US. So those were kind of the two main driving forces. The third wave that we're seeing is because there's a lot of ecosystems now in Southeast Asia that were not there previously. For example, now I can find suppliers, if you're producing toys, now you have plastic suppliers, you have dye suppliers, you have skilled labor. So there are three kind of waves we've seen in the last 10, 12 years, and that's why a lot of companies have moved there. There have been a lot of challenges going into Southeast Asia. Part of it is infrastructure. Like the ports, the railroads aren't as mature. Sometimes you can't always ship the things that you need to ship. Secondly is labor. Labor is not as skilled as it is in China because it took China 30, 40 years to do that. It's the same process that we're doing in Southeast Asia. The third also is government support, right? In China, government supported tax relief, subsidies, land grants, and that hasn't necessarily happened across the board in Southeast Asia. So there's different challenges that companies have faced. The most recent being is there is not enough space to essentially move Chinese supply chains out of China into Southeast Asia. You're only able to move pieces of it. So for example, the population of Vietnam is about the size of the mid-level Chinese province. So at some point you kind of run out of room. And this is kind of one of the challenges companies are facing as they move into Southeast Asia now. The short lessons are, if you're a big company and you're able to throw resources at it, you often are able to get it done. And it's beyond just an SAP system, it's also operating traceability throughout different parts of your supply chain, linking up inventory systems between your suppliers. But SMEs, small and medium enterprises, haven't really been able to do that for a lot of reasons. One is the cost. Secondly, just the amount of time and effort you need to put in. Third, there's a lot of staff who don't want to do it. Right? They've used Excel or other digital forms for a long time, and it's really difficult to switch over. So what you do see, though, is some success in companies where they're building brand new systems. So, for example, I have a new factory in Southeast Asia. We're going to build systems from scratch. So that's where you see some success, because then you're training people from the beginning. And you're not having been there 10, 20 years using the same systems. So we've had some success there. So hopefully in the next 5 years, we're going to see more of that. But on top of that, the geopolitical concerns, particularly in the US and Europe, on traceability will start to force more and more companies to be more vigilant in having some kind of digital traceability, whether it's just knowing where the product comes from or being able to follow it through the entire supply chain. That's coming probably in the next 5 years.